Hey everyone, welcome to Into the Warren. I am Jessica, and I just want to say if you are a returning subscriber watching my videos, thank you for coming back and watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, I hope that you enjoy these crochet and knitting videos and that you'll like and subscribe. Also, please feel free to leave a comment. I read all my comments and I reply to them, and I just love communicating with you guys, especially right now when we're not allowed to leave our house too much and I have a toddler to talk to most of the time. So I really do appreciate any feedback or comments or anything that you guys are willing to share. I love talking with people. So I looked back at my video that I made 2 videos ago. So not the last one I just uploaded, but the one before, and that was way back in December. I think it was Christmas Eve. And I realized that there are a lot of things that I did in between December and now that I didn't share with you because I didn't realize I hadn't shared with you them yet, if that makes sense. So I collected some of the things that I've made since December so that I can show you what I've done. And I also have one new thing in the works, and I did get one package in the mail of yarn that I ordered. The Knit Crate subscription, I have been avoiding any videos about the new Knit Crate because a lot of people have already gotten theirs, but I signed up later. That's on its way. My Knit Picks order of yarn is on its way, and I don't think I get it for another like 5 or 6 days. And I think that is it. That's on its way. I've gotten everything out. So first I want to start off by sharing a few finished objects with you that I have made since December in no particular order. So I'll start off by, there is a pattern designer. Her name is Claire Garland. I think she has 2 Instagrams. One's Claire Garland. One is .pebbles, which is really like her website name where she posts pictures of all of her patterns. And what she is best known for are bunnies, rabbits, but she also makes other critters like squirrels and cats, and I think she has like a baby lamb pattern and stuff like that. And the beautiful thing about her patterns are they're very squishy, and the yarn she uses is really nice and it's very natural and kind of I don't know, it's just like you're in a magical woods and her little animals live there. She has beautiful patterns. So one of the reasons why I wanted to learn knitting in the first place was because I wanted to create bunnies like her. I wanted to be able to follow her patterns and make bunnies just like her. So I did make a bunny. Now this bunny has been in the hands of my toddler for I guess like 4 months or 3 months, and she has taken a very big beating from my daughter because she holds on to her with her, holds on to her tightly and plays with her and stuff like that. So she's a little worse for wear, but she's still very cute, and now she's a very loved bunny. So here is the bunny that I made my daughter. This actually was a free pattern because every once in a while Claire Garland posts patterns that are free. So I made this bunny with, I have no idea what yarn, some sort of, I want to say like a Lion brand yarn of some kind. It has like browns and some goldish hues into it to kind of make it look more natural. Claire does have like options where like the belly's like a different color and the tail is a different color. You can she uses multiple strands of yarn at a time. She uses mohair mixed with other yarn. So there's endless possibilities, but this was like my first big knitting project, and I was already nervous. So I just used one kind of yarn and left it at that. And I think that this bunny is very squishy and cozy. I love the pattern on the back. I've had to repair it because Brooke digs her fingers into it to hold on to it. Her little feet. She's just real squishy, and Claire always says, don't overstuff these. You want them to be kind of floppy because bunnies are floppy, you know. So this is the bunny. And with that same pattern maker, Claire has a new pattern called My First Bunny or My First Rabbit or something to that effect. And it's different colors. And I tried it. And I think it's just me. And maybe I did something wrong. But this is the bunny. Like every limb is a different color. And I use Mandala Sparkle to make this bunny. And yeah, it's cute. I mean, I just don't particularly like the way the arms are or the body shape. It's just not really, I don't know. I mean, it's okay, and my daughter loves this little bunny, but I don't know. I rather would make a big, nice bunny like this than this little bunny. But both were good. I actually think this was easier than this one. I don't know why. Maybe it was just my off day, but anyway. So I have those two bunnies that my daughter loves. And then I have a crochet item. I made this probably, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Well, I started it longer than that, but then I put it on hold. And this has also kind of been loved on already, and there's stuffing coming through the stitches. But anyway, I made this little sleepy fox. This is a pattern by Allison North. That's her name. Allison North is a book pattern. So I made a little fox for Bricky. She has another crochet fox that we bought from an artist, a fiber artist at a marketplace before I knew how to crochet. So now she's kind of starting a fox collection and a bunny collection. But anyway, this was a very simple fox. It's the same pattern maker that I made the crocodile for my nephew in one of my old videos. Her patterns are extremely well written, very clear. The step-by-steps are perfect. Like, I wish everyone made patterns just like her. Like the way that she sets them up, the way she explains things, 100% on point. Love it. And I love this little fox. He's very cute. So that is another. So that's my crochet project. Okay, and then I'm getting into more back in December and January. I don't think I've shown any of these yet, so here we go. First thing is this hat. This is called, I want to say it's called the Namo Beanie. Namo, N-A-M-O. It's really, I really like this yarn. But I don't think it was the best decision for creating a pattern with cable knits because it's busy and it's hard to see the pattern because it is busy. And that's all me. That's not the pattern maker. This was the very first time that I've ever made cables on knitting. Let me stretch it and see if you can see any of the cables. I don't know. You can kind of see them. But I really do like the yarn itself. It is, this isn't it. It's somewhere in the abyss. I don't know. I have a lot of yarn. But yeah, I want to say it's, I know it's Thick and Quick. Is it Thick and Quick? I don't know, my memory is not the best, but I think it's really beautiful. I love the color in it. I got one of these furry fluff balls for it at Joann's. It's a great pattern, especially if you're learning cables. It fits well. I wish it wasn't 100 degrees outside or I would wear it more. So I have that hat, and then this was my first attempt at like lace knitting to kind of make some more delicate patterns and use a lighter, this is a DK weight yarn, but this pattern is called Wet Leaves, and you can see there are in fact like leaf patterns and cables in it. So you can see I had like a moment where I was learning cables. And cables are a lot easier than you think they are, believe it or not. I was really like intimidated by them, but once I saw a video on how to do them, not so bad. This yarn is Mandala Sparkle. One of the colorways over here, it is Orion. And I don't know if it's discontinued or not because all of this Mandala is clearance yarn from when I worked at Joann's. And they were trying to get rid of it because they had new colorways coming in, and I bought all of them. So anyway, this is a bit of that Mandala Orion Sparkle, and I really like this hat too. Has a lot of detail. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing to repeat the patterns correctly. Now this could have probably been a little bit longer. I mean, I got a big head, I guess, but it looks really cute on my daughter. So that's the Wet Leaves pattern. And then I don't think I've shown this, and this was, I have made, so prior to this I made one knit baby sweater, toddler sweater, and it looks like watermelon. It was like a watermelon pattern. And this one is another toddler sized sweater, and it's from top down, so it's just one piece. You don't have to sew pieces together. So this is like a cranberry-ish purple yarn. I don't remember what kind of yarn it is. I have some more up there. I want to say it's... I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But here is a sweater I made for Brooke. It probably doesn't fit her anymore because she's growing so fast, and this was like 3 or 4 months ago. But here's her little sweater with her buttons, and then I embroidered some little flowers and leaves on it. I just wanted to give it a little something special, you know. And I made it short sleeve because we're in Florida and it's only cold maybe like 3 weeks of the year. So it's kind of a little more versatile for like a chillier day, but not too hot. So that's her little sweater. It's not perfect, but it definitely is cute. So I have that. Then I bought, in the video in December, I showed you the Touch of Wool Lion brand hand-dyed hanks of yarn. And I wasn't sure what I was going to make with them. I had bought 2 of them, and I had decided to make a pattern called the Pine Lake Shawl. And it's like a triangle shawl, but it's one of those long ones, like that long style that you wrap around, but then it's like a triangle back here. And it has pattern of stockinette V-stitches, and then it has garter stitches for a while, and then it goes back and forth between garter and stockinette all the way down till the end. So it's a long scarf, and basically you just put it behind you like this, and then you kind of wrap this long piece like around and kind of adjust. Of course, I'm using the camera to do it, but it's really pretty. I will say, after trying other hand-dyed yarn from local yarn shops and other yarn companies, I think that this Touch of Wool by Lion Brand, the hand-dyed yarn, I think it's even with it being washed and blocked, I think it is a little scratchy for like long-term wear. There are hand-dyed yarns that are probably a lot softer and a lot better for a scarf or a shawl, but it is really pretty, and I like the texture and I like the coloring throughout it with the stockinette and garter stitch. So I really do like that. I made that. It was a pretty easy pattern, just took a while because it's very long. Okay, now in the mail this week, I have been supporting my a local yarn shop in Tennessee, and it's called Genuine Pearl, which I mentioned in my last video, in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Now, the lady who owns that shop is so nice and so she's so informed and experienced in knitting. I'm going to say knitting. Now, she may be just as experienced with crochet. I'm not 100% sure. But she knows yarn. Like, if you were to say to her, my plan is to make this sweater, and it's a DK weight, and I'm going to use it for the fall in California. What kind of yarn would you recommend? She's really good at recommending brands of yarn and types of yarn and what they're made out of to help you make the best choice for your project. And if you follow her on Facebook, Genuine Purl, Purl, she posts like every day. She even makes like little pattern kits with the yarn included, and the patterns are free, and then you just pay for the yarn and she ships it to you. She will ship throughout the United States. So I live in Florida. She sends me yarn. I get it within two days. She's so fast. She'll ship it same day. So if you want to do some small business support and you need some yarn and you want some special yarn to make that special project during quarantine, you really should give her, you can send her a Facebook message through Genuine Purl and say, hey, I need help with this. She would be more than happy to help you. She did not ask me to promote it. She's not paying me to promote it. I'm just saying that her business, she does so well, and she's so organized, and she's so supportive that I think I'm telling you about it because I believe in her business, and I think she's a good businesswoman. So, and she hasn't steered me wrong. So I will show you what I've gotten from her. The first thing is I ordered this Noro, the World of Nature cake of yarn. Here is what it looks like. It's like self-striping. It's really beautiful inside. This is actually yarn from Japan. And if you look at it, you can see some Japanese on there. And it is made out of 35% viscose, 35% cotton, 10% wool, and 20% silk. So it's more lightweight. It's not like the super fluffiest yarn in the world, but you can tell like you could make something that in a little bit of a warmer climate because it has that cotton in it, and it only has a little bit of wool, and it has that silkiness to it. It is a 3-weight, lightweight, and it's just beautiful. It's called Geshi, and I think it's beautiful. Now there are, how many yards? It's 200 grams, 600 meters. So whatever 600 meters is in yards, that is what you're getting. Now this was a little pricey. It is coming from Japan. It's made out of silk, and it's a beautiful colorway. So this was $40. But for 600 meters, I think that's a lot of yardage. You could make a shawl in just one of these. I love it. I can't wait to use it. Now the next thing I got a bunch of, is this hank of yarn from Illimani Yarns. And it's $14.25 for one hank. But, which might be pricey, but if you're making something really special, the investment in the yarn matters. So this is 45% ultra fine merino wool, 25% baby alpaca, 15% yak fur, and 15% mulberry silk. Okay, it's 137 yards, and it's a lightweight yarn. It's a number 3, and it's made in Peru, and you can hand wash only, and that's why there's a yak on here, because it is made out of yak wool, not the meat, of course, but the wool. And this is the color orange. And I wish that you could reach through the camera and feel how soft this yarn is. It is so squishy. It is so soft. Like, I just want to go to sleep because it is so beautiful and so soft. I love the color. It's very fall, and it's gonna be fall before you know it, and we probably can't leave the house till fall. So I am in love with this. Now I bought quite a few because it doesn't have a lot of yardage. and I wanted to make a bigger project out of it. So here's some of the hanks that I bought. This is 14, I said 14.25. Yeah, 14.25 per hank. They have lots of different colors, beautiful colors. Even if you don't buy yarn from them, you should follow them on Instagram, that Illimani yarn. Illimani, not to be confused with Illuminati. They have beautiful pictures and projects that people have done with their yarn. I love it. When I'm done with this project, I want to buy a different color and make the same project but the size for my daughter. So let me show you what I've been working on. There is a sweater pattern on Ravelry that is called Love Note Sweater. It's by Tin Can Knits. I think I mentioned this in my other video, but I finally got the yarn, so I have been working on this sweater and using the Illimani yarn. And here is the progress. So here is the collar, and then you have some increase here, so it's stockinette stitch, a little bit of increase, and then you get to the lace. Now right now the lace kind of looks like a jumbledness mess, and that's because when you're knitting, it gets like this, but when you block it, when you wet the yarn and you flatten it, all of that lace is going to open up flat. And once that happens, you'll see that it's almost like a leaf pattern shape all the way down. It even is on the shoulders, the arms of the sweater. So I have gotten down to this point. So I have about, there's two versions. There's a cropped short version of the sweater and then a regular length of the sweater. So I'm going to do regular length because I still think it's going to be slightly cropped because I have kind of a longer torso, and I don't mind a slight crop, but I don't want it to be like too crop, you know what I mean? So I have about, I think I have like 4.5 more inches to go on the length of this sweater, and then I will move on to the sleeves, and the sleeves are 3/4 length. And what you do is when you, this is a top-down sweater, so basically everything, you separate the sleeves later and you put the stitches of the sleeves on a piece of scrap yarn, and you just leave them there until you're ready to go back and put your needles through the loops. And then you start knitting, then you start knitting this sleeve and then coming over here and knitting this sleeve. So the body of the sweater is pretty close to being done. At the bottom you'll have some short rows so that the back of the sweater is slightly longer than the front of the sweater, so it's not perfectly like parallel. And then you do a little bit of ribbing at the bottom, just like you do on the collar, this ribbing. And the same thing with the sleeves. You're going to go down, you're going to decrease the stitches a little bit, and then you'll do some ribbing. So overall, I am extremely proud of this sweater. This is the first sweater that I've made for an adult. It's the first time I learned how to do a provisional cast on, which is a whole other story and gave me a heart attack the whole time. But I figured it out and everything went fine, and it helps me practice my lace knitting. It helps me practice stockinette, and it's great because you don't have to really purl that much. Purling takes longer, I find, than knitting. Knitting, I can just kind of flip my finger and it'll go. Purling is like you have to turn your whole hand. I am very proud of this sweater. I have been working on it like crazy. This is going to be more than enough yarn to finish it, because I have a whole ball of yarn right there, and then this will probably be for sleeves, and who knows, I might need a third, but this one will probably not even be used. So overall, I think it's going to take 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 of these. But I'm doing a extra large, and I could have probably done a large, but I just wanted to be safe, you know? I don't mind a sweater that's a little oversized. So, and the great thing about this pattern is it goes from, I think, 0 to 3 months, baby, all the way to a 5X. So anybody, for the most part, can get their size, most people. And I think, like I said, once I get this sweater done and block it and I try it on and see how I like it, I'll probably buy another color in the same brand of yarn and make one for Brooke for the fall, so we can kind of have like cool like matching sweaters, and I'm sure her size will take no time to make. So that's kind of where I am. My goal is to finish this sweater, go back to my shawl and my cocoon wrap and finish those. And then I don't know after that. I really want to crochet. I have the pattern. I don't remember who the pattern maker is yet, but I'll tell you in another video. I really, really want to make the Vincent van Gogh amigurumi that I bought the pattern on Etsy, and it's so cute. And as an art teacher, I feel like you have to make a Vincent van Gogh amigurumi when you see the pattern. And then the only thing is I have all this yarn, but I don't have like a good skin color yarn. So I'll probably have to get like one little skein of like a skin color, like a, like a tan or cream or something. But everything else I should have. Yeah, so I think that's it for today. If you have any questions about knitting or where I got something, or you just have anything to ask at all, please feel free to ask. I think knitting, I think it's been almost a year now. I've been knitting for about a year. But maybe I can help you with something. If you have a question about yarn or what yarn I got or anything, feel free. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video. I hope that this has taught you something or you enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm gonna post when I get my knit crate in and do an unboxing, and my knit picks yarn. Knit picks yarn I got in Superwash DK, the Squish DK, so I hope that is nice. And also I have this like hidden desire right now to try to dye my own yarn, but I just can't. My husband he doesn't want that kind of life. It's just too much for him, but I've been watching people dyeing yarn and I'm just like, I want to do it, I want to try it, So anyway, other than that, another rainy day. Just keep on trucking along. I hope you guys are being safe in your house, and I will talk to you later. Bye!